So YouTube, back trying to be consistent on here, man. I just made it to where I'm gonna park at for the night. I'm down here in Missouri at Will Bills. That's the name of the truck stop, or Wild Bills. I guess the D fell off of the sign. It's been a long day, man. I hit 582 miles. I still got 2 hours on my 14. I came from Madison, Indiana. Then I went up to Indianapolis, and then I shot over to on 65 South, right next to Arkansas in Missouri. Um, yeah, man, it's nice. It's nice up here, man. It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The birds chirping, the insects flying around, the clouds in the sky. It's beautiful, man. I was born in 1995, and you know it's crazy how time be flying. But a lot of people always talked about my generation being different, or a lot of people don't. It seems like they don't like us, you know, like older people. It's like they got a lot of bad stuff to say, like I guess they was better than us, or we lack the whatever it was that they had that was different. But I'm not gonna say that that's the truth, man. I don't agree with that. I can see how some of the things that used to be like the camaraderie, and everybody was able to have a good time. It seemed like that was more like that was more common with them back in the day. It wasn't as much violence going on, but you got to look at what are we like. Who was our parents? You see, who were we influenced by? And so when you put, you reap what you sow. So whatever we are the harvest of what was sown, you know, back in 95, 94, 93, 96, 97. We the harvest, you know. That's what it is. And it's kind of like, I mean, I know a lot of solid people in my generation, man. There's a lot of people doing a lot of good things in my generation, you know. I mean, I know some people that's really family oriented, um, just solid, just good people. So I don't know, but this is the age. It's a new age, and in this new age, being woke is like something that everybody wants to be. Everybody want to be woke, but what they don't realize, what comes with being woke, right? And so initially, when you say woke, you have to look at yourself and ask yourself, why do you even want to be woke? And what does being woke mean to you? And then if you are self-proclaimed woke, now it's like, are you even really woke? And it's a lot that go into it, but people throw titles around, they throw words around, and then they identify with them because they put their faith into these words. They believe in these words. So now they start acting like woke. And they say fake it till you make it. So I mean, I'm not gonna knock people for their method of getting to nirvana or peace or enlightenment. I'm not, however you get it is how you get it. But I wanted to talk about like what I believe being woke, what it is and what it does. And in my opinion, being woke is being able to see what's going on in the world outside of the physical. And it's not saying that you see like the invisible, but you are aware of the principalities that really affect all of our lives. That's my definition of being woke. And so now, what comes with being woke, in my opinion, is servitude. So people want to be woke for the wrong reasons. They want to be woke because they want to look woke. They want to talk about, oh, I'm woke. You ain't woke. It's all about pride. It's like, I'm better than you, and I'm in touch with the universe directly, and it's like it's as high as everybody is the Messiah, and it's not to knock that, because ultimately I believe that we all come from one source. So essentially, everybody is the Messiah. You just have to. It could be tricky because you can fall deep into that title, and then now other aspects of your shadow self can definitely come into play. And the more you grow, the more those aspects will grow, and you really won't be able to see them. So it's a lot of people that came and they went, and they had a lot of knowledge, a lot of information. They were seekers, but they had things within themselves that they never really dealt with while on that journey. And so a lot of people sought after them for information and for guidance, but they were not fully able to lead those individuals, or to handle the responsibility of so many people believing in them, or giving them their ear, right? And so it's a great responsibility that comes with having discernment and understanding, and I say that enlightenment, or that knowledge or wisdom, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot that come with it, but ultimately it's all about servitude. And I feel like what happens is, when you really wake up, you get to a point where you want to serve more than you want to do anything else. More than I want to drive a truck, more than I want to eat food, more than I want to be intimate, more than I want to do anything. I want to serve. I want to be of service. I want to help people. That's it. I want to do that. That's what I want to do on my day to day. I'm thankful for my personal life. Like, that is separate from what I want to do in the world. And so I used to think about, like, how is being of service really, like, beneficial. But that was when I didn't have no understanding, and that was when I was still trying to figure it out. And I don't have it all figured out. I am seeking to understand more and more on a daily, within myself and within the world. And so I used to be really questioning, like, man, how you being of service? You see these people being of service, but it's like, it's way more rewarding to contribute to somebody else's existence than it is for you to try to, like, just worry about yourself. It's like, yeah, you can worry about yourself, and that works, but it's like, you still need other people. Like, for your life to even mean anything, other people give your life meaning. And so when you are being of service, it's not about what you get. It's really about what you give. And what do you have to give? And for myself, I don't have no money to give. I don't have no jewelry to give. I don't have none of that to give. Being woke does not revolve around making money. I don't have a sales pitch that's gonna make people say, hey, look at me. Look at what I'm offering to you. If you just do this, and you'll be rich overnight. I'm not writing no book trying to get you to buy no book. If I write a book and you buy the book, cool. But I'm not trying to sell you nothing. And that's me. But the whole point of all of that was to say that people can be led astray by being in a position of power, being in a position where people have to depend on them and trust on them. Whatever things they got within themselves can definitely take them away, and therefore they mislead the people. It's like, you know, all the sheep running off the cliff. That's what's gonna happen if you're not really on that journey, man. And so, like I said, being of service is like it's the highest. It's so much fulfillment that comes from that. It's little boys and little girls. They don't have a daddy. They don't have a big brother. They don't have a mama. Some people don't have nobody. They placed in homes where people don't really care about them. They just collecting the check, and nobody is really being patient with them, spending time with them, learning who they are. It's like nobody really cares, and everybody's so self-centered. And you know, it's like that's what's important, that we be of service to the future. You know, you be of service to who's to come after you. And it's like that's ain't nothing more important than that, because when we old people, how we gonna want the world to be? You know? And then what about your kids and your grandkids, if you got them? What kind of world you want them to live in? And so it's like, man, you got to help people be able to deal with the day-to-day struggles of life, because so many people have a hard time dealing with life on the day-to-day. Like they have an incredibly challenging time dealing with it. Like, you may think you got it going on. You might have money, you might have cars, you might have a house, you might have side chicks, man, you might have a jet. You might be rich with millions of dollars in the bank account, right? But yet you don't have peace. And so people, they try to find different ways to find peace. So you can meditate and you can find peace if you sit long enough, if you isolate yourself long enough, if you let go of the world long enough. You can find it. I believe you can find it that way. For myself, the peace that I have gained, I'm not gonna say I've totally found like complete peace, but the peace that I have gained has come from me being a student to life. So I'm always looking at myself. I'm always looking at life, trying to figure out what is it that I'm supposed to be learning from the experience that I'm having. And so instead of me being at war with God, I say, okay, this thing right here was not permitted, but this thing right here was, right? And so that's my way of just going with the flow of things. Like, all right, now I know I wanted to do that, but instead of me doing that, I'd be all right with this, because this happened effortlessly. I didn't have to put too much into that. So let me just see where God taking me. And so that's how I live my life. I just go with the flow of a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's things I want to do, but when it don't work, I don't be pressed about it. You know, not working. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I make peace with it. Like, all right, cool. This is what it is. All right. Like I said in one of my other videos, forgiveness. Like, to forgive somebody, you free yourself of the frustration of their actions, you know? And so that's one of the ways that I believe that you maintain your peace. Because when you think about it, when you're born into this world, I mean, you're not really tainted. Everybody born the same way. Like, nobody was born with a hat on, with some jeans and some boots. Nobody was born like that. So since nobody was born like that, we was pretty much all born in the image and likeness of the Creator. And so what happens in between the time of birth until now, or until death, we go and, man, I get on these, man, my mustache friends be messing with me, man. I'm not gonna cut it, but it be all in my nose, tickling me and stuff. But we go, what was I saying, man? Just like that, I got completely sidetracked. Oh yeah, so we were born, you know, and as we were born, as we came into the world, we start to take on ways of the world. We start learning different ways. We start learning ways to get our way. We start learning the battle between siblings, or the battle between peers, right? The battle of hierarchy. And so now we starting to get, our psychology is starting to adapt to the world around us. So that that canvas that all of us was at one point, we no longer are. Everybody has become something other than what they were initially. And so now we starting to buy into the ideas. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like that. But nobody stops to think about what you like was here before you got here. So you really was limited with your selection. You only was able to like what they gave you to like, or what was here for you to like. So now the you that you think you are is based on what was before you got here. And so now it's like you living in this world and you live in one way and you thinking that this is you, this is me, I'm this name. And every time somebody call your name, that's you. And whatever come with that name, like, oh man, you used to be like this, you used to be like that. And it's like we attach that to us. We associate that with who we believe ourselves to be, but that is the furthest thing from who we all are. And so now, when you really seeking, eventually when you start dissolving the ideas, the words, when you start really like sitting with it and just saying, you know what, the sky is not the sky no more, the trees ain't the trees no more, my name ain't Azel no more. Like, when you just start, when you cast your rod down, when you just do that, now you become, in a sense, the more you deny yourself, the more you deny the idea of you, the more you denounce whatever, when you start letting all this stuff go, you start to become with the Creator, one with the Creator. And this is my perspective. I could be wrong, but this is the way that I have seen from me. This is what seems to be, right? And I'm not gonna say that your life is just gonna magically just be the best life. No, but you'll have more peace. You'll have way more peace than what you ever had before. You'll know how to deal with the day-to-day life, and you'll know how to live in between it all. So your quality of life improves. And so many people, quality of life is not that good. A person, like I said, with a whole bunch of money, he can be somewhere overseas but not really know how to appreciate the beauty of where he or she is. You can't appreciate that. When you go into these places and y'all go to resorts, man, you ain't really living in it. You safe. You just over there being safe. You doing it for the gram, or you doing it for TikTok, or whatever you're doing it for, but it's not authentic. So, this is my little these are my thoughts, man. On being woke and what I believe woke to be, and how do you find that peace, because you got to work towards it. It's not gonna come overnight. Your flame is to be cultivated. It's to be cultivated. So you got to put in that work. You got to put the wood in. So when you put that wood in, the wood helps, build that fire. It helps build that fire. And so as that fire grows and it gets brighter and brighter and brighter, you become more aware. You become more enlightened, right? And then you see. And then you're able to appreciate the small things. You're able to laugh when it's a moment for you to laugh. You're able to cry if it's a moment for you to cry. You're able to give if you have it to give. If you can forgive, then you will. You try to preserve life. It's gonna get you to the point to where you're gonna be trying to save the ants. Like, I mean, you would think you're crazy. Like, hey man, don't step on the ant. Like intentionally at least. Now roaches and flies, hey man, I got my own vendetta against flies. I hate flies, and I don't like mosquitoes. I ain't gonna say I hate them. I just don't like them. I don't like mosquitoes and I don't like flies, because mosquitoes, to me, is like, and this makes sense to me. It's like If a mosquito bites you, let's say the mosquito bit somebody with a virus that starts with an H, right? And it ends with a V. So let's say a mosquito bit them and then they come bite you. Now, don't that mean that you got that same thing now? Because a mosquito bit them first, right? And then flies, man, they'll go land on some doo-doo, and then they'll come over there in your food, and they rubbing their hands, man, and you just like, bro, like, so yeah, and but yeah, that's it, man. Those are my thoughts on being woke and peace. And I'm gonna talk about a lot of peace on this channel, because I really feel like that's what people want. They just don't know how to get to it. And I ain't trying to tell nobody don't party. I ain't trying to tell people don't have a good time and don't enjoy life. I'm just saying that make sure you prioritize your inner being, your inner wellness. Make sure you don't, you don't let that take a back seat. Don't do that. Quality of life. Be able to enjoy your family. Be able to enjoy your kids. Have a moral compass. Live by something. And everything else can work itself out. But that's it, man. I know my videos be getting kind of long. I just wanted to get on here and talk for a little bit, and that's it, man. Yeah, I get back. I'll probably make another video tomorrow or something. Y'all be easy.